Hi there, in this FM8 tutorial we're going to be making a deep techno arpeggiator sound, quite an analogy sort of sound. Here's a listen to it. Okay, so let's start off by creating a new sound in FM8 and start programming the operators. We're only going to be using two operators for this sound. It's quite a simple sound, so operator F and operator E, so you can turn E on there. I'm going to be routing both sounds through the filter and then going from the filter to the main output, and we're going to have 100 values here, 100 being sent to the filter for both, that's full volume basically, for both E and F. F, we're going to have a square wave. Going to keep the ratio at 1, and for E we're going to have a 1+6 wave, and we're going to take the ratio up to 1.5. so and what we're going to do here as well, we're going to do some kind of feeding these operators back into themselves to create quite a nice tone. So with F I'm going to go to 17, and for E I'm going to go to 38. And then I'm going to feed E into F a little bit. I'm going to go up to about 32. Okay, so that's the basic sound done. I'm going to move on and start setting some of the stuff up in the master section here. We're going to increase the voices to 4 and take this pan up to spread the voices out across the stereo field. Keep the detune around there, it's around about 20, 24. And I'm going to take the analog up, right up here, to give us quite a nice sort of chorusy flavour with the sound. And the next thing to set really is the arpeggiator. And for this sound, what I did was I actually used one of the presets, which is called Melancholic. And give it a play now. Seemed to kind of work for this sound really, gave it quite a nice pattern and stuff. So what we're going to do next is set some effects. I'm going to have a phaser in here. I'm going to keep pretty much everything the same, except I'm going to sync it to the BPM of the track and take the dry wet slider up to about 65 to give us a nice little bit of phase. I was going to add some reverb also, and just maybe take the time up, the reverb time up a little bit, and pull the dry wet down to about 30. It's giving us a nice bit of space. And the last effect I was going to add is the sight delay, and I'm going to take the time right down to about 23. Going to sync it to the BPM of the track, take the feedback down a little bit, and maybe the dry wet slide down a little bit. Okay, so the next thing to do really now is set the filter, and this is where the sound's going to come to life a little bit really. So for this filter I was going to take the cutoff right down of the first filter to 11, keep the resonance in the middle, keep it on a low pass filter, and for filter 2 keep the spread around 10, keep the resonance in the middle at 50 and it's on a low pass as well, and the routing, it's being routed to the filter 2 and we've got it in serial mode. And so what we're going to do now is send the filter to the envelope by turning up this envelope amount to about 66. And the way to make it kind of like deep and sort of analogy is we're going to take this, the shape of this filter right down. So it's got much more kind of plucky sound to it really. And if we take that attack right down, we get a really nice sort of dubbed out arpeggiator sound. So and if you prefer, you could go back to the arpeggiator and you could put the key sync on. so the arpeggiator restarts each time you hit a note. I initially had it off just because I got a more varied sound. The arpeggiator was free running, and so it just gave a bit more of a varied sound that would become maybe less sort of stagnant if you were using it in a track. So there you go. It's a kind of deep techno arpeggiator sound in FM8. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Any questions regards the tutorial, then just get in touch. And also any ideas for future tutorials that you'd like to see us do, then just give us a shout and let us know. Alright, thanks for watching. Cheers.